Hey, yo, we live here with the Turn 2 podcast presented by Too Smooth. I'm your boy, Coach Marcus, joined by.
Coach Zack.
And this is our first ever episode. We just want to sit here and talk some youth baseball with you guys and kind of like the developmental process, what we go through on a day to day, and just kind of have some fun with it and just kind of talk shop, really.
So let's begin them out, Marcus, with how we got into this situation and why we started coaching 10 and under baseball to begin with. So we were at a high school coaching and we realized that the knowledge of baseball at that level was not there at all in our community.
Man, nah, it was we had about I'd say 5 to 7 guys that really knew kind of the game, but then we had another 12 to 15 that was, that unfortunately wasn't able to get development at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So our goal was, hey, our community isn't like getting the exposure they need to be getting. So let's go to the younger folks and help build those kids out, develop those kids the best that we can. So by the time they get to high school level, they're not going to be lacking. And
They actually knew baseball.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what blew my mind the most is how many guys in the high school level are playing organized baseball for the very first time. At least where we were. You know what I mean? So that just shows the beginning stages of playing the game wasn't there at all. Like they weren't introduced to the game at no point.
Nah, because I mean, we talked to a lot of guys. They were what first haven't played since they were like
6, 7, 8 years old,
and from 8 years old all the way to the time we got in, which they were 15, 16, 17 years old. No one developed them at all.
No type of baseball knowledge.
And unfortunately, and I know a lot of the good ball players that were in this community, they have,
transferred out to
other schools and looking for, more, better opportunities and stuff. But anyways, that's why we started this, because we said, nah, Snellville, Georgia needs a solid developmental program. Yeah, we got to build that foundation. So that's what we're here to do. And we've been through a lot so far in our first year. And matter of fact, we just got back from PCB, and they did
really good for their Grand Slam World Series.
It was a World Series
compared to how we had the whole season. Shoot, I mean, maybe we won 6, 7, 8 games in the whole season, and then they want to come win that many in one tournament.
I was about to say we doubled our wins in PCB World Series than they did the entire season. For real.
And the crazy thing is, with teams that we've seen before, it wasn't unfamiliar teams. I mean, Alabama brought a team, Tennessee brought a team, and a lot of Georgia.
It was just a lot of our guys, and that's another thing about us, like what we did. Like we went from scratch. We didn't have an all-star team. We didn't have a set group of kids that we coached before. Like we went in this completely brand new. Like we didn't have a single soul besides me, you, and Coach Andrew, and we took off.
Yep.
Right? Like we had to go out to the parks and find these kids. So we picked and plucked a lot of the kids from, rec ball teams and other travel ball teams, but they didn't have no cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no team chemistry.
Which leads me to the thought, for being a coach for the first time, and I know you've done this more than I have. Like, you coach a couple more years than me. But for me, being a coach for the first time, what really showed me something different is how we did team bonding with the kids. Right. And after they became friends with each other for real, they really wanted to play with each other. And that's what was the difference in PCB, in my opinion.
I agree too. And at the same time, it blows my mind that, like, when we were young, you get put on a team, you gonna start. We got to
be friends immediately.
Yeah, we got to start talking to each other. But a lot of these cats, these younger kids, man, they come with a bunch of other people that they might not know. And instead of just being social and whatnot, some of them hold back a lot, and I think that hurts with confidence and stuff like that.
I agree completely.
Because
just in a tech day and age where they're not used to talking to each other in person,
which is crazy. That's why we got to put the phones down and just come together. But like you said, us having the dinner and the other activities that we did together, the beach day and all.
Oh, they love the beach.
Yeah, and that stuff brought them together. I think that gave them the kind of
maybe confidence and
just to,
urge to
just
want to
to
play with
believe
each.
in each other,
Yeah.
right? Like you just got to believe in each other at the end of the day. And I had to give it to them. They came back through some adverse times.
Oh yeah.
Like we were down by some runs in the last inning, had to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I won't forget I think it was the game that put us into the World Series. Down 2-0 in the
Mm-hmm.
last inning and had to scrap around and find a way
Mm-hmm.
and ended up winning that game. It pushed us on to the next day. So anyways, talking about PCB, day one we get there and it's just Sunday, so we do the coaches meeting. Talk to them about just kind of what we had to go through, the process of getting checked in. Was it smooth, simple? Was it, you know,
I thought it was a pretty organized event. I mean, kind of a small environment, but it was still organized in there for everybody. They went through it pretty quickly.
shout out to what was it called? Rocket Lanes.
Rocket
Rocket
Lanes, yeah,
Lanes.
Rocket
Shout
Lanes.
out Rocket Lanes down there in PCB, Florida. I mean, what I immediately noticed, I mean, we went through the whole process. I think that was real smooth, simple.
Agreed.
For those of y'all going, if you want to get there early, you can. It kind of skip past the line, but you still gonna have to wait for the coaches meeting, regardless for all the coaches. So it ain't no rush. I mean, we got there probably right at 8 o'clock or whatever we had to
Mm-hmm.
be there by.
We were out by 9:45, 10.
Yeah.
If that.
Talk. What do you think about? So my biggest problem with it was like I always tell people like I don't like these whole organizations swallowing up, these smaller teams. Mm-hmm. We go to somewhere like that and all you see in the building are like the same teams just from different areas. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like that. I like to have a lot of uniqueness out there. I wish more of these mom and pop teams would just kind of
Stick to it.
together.
Even
And
when the bad season happens, you got to keep going,
yeah,
because just like we experienced this season, there's times that you're going to lose tournaments back to back to back to back to back.
yeah.
But then you finally make it to a World Series and your kids lock in and eventually
And
go on to the
everything
championship game.
comes together. But I mean, we in there and we're seeing a bunch of 5 tool teams, a bunch of prime teams, a bunch of
Clutch.
chains and stuff like that. And shout out to y'all, like you do your thing, but at the same time, like we want to see more Too Smooth Baseball. We want to see more Mississippi Nats. We want to see more
creativity. A
creativity
lot of
and
different names.
unique jerseys too. Like coming down there, it's nice to see like we got a bunch of ice cream drip jerseys. We got guys that just have pinked out beach jerseys, and that's the kind of stuff I didn't see a lot of. I mean, I could be wrong because I'm not in that organization, but
Right.
Prime 5 tool and all them, you had your generic
just the
uniforms.
basic jersey.
Just the basic jerseys. They look swaggy.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the color schemes and all that, but
nothing too creative.
Nothing creative. And I think at a young age it's important that they have their creativity, their identity, that all that is established. I think
I agree 100%.
I think a lot of these kids get lost in the sauce. A lot of these families, parents, they get lost in the sauce of travel ball. So it's nice to have that.
Yep. It is a lot different than how it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, travel ball. Because everybody tries to create a travel ball team now. Mm-hmm. So it kind of takes the uniqueness away from it.
Yeah. So we get done with Rocket Lanes. We go have a break. We have to come back for the pin trading event.
Yep.
We skipped the parade. We didn't skip it, but
it got quote unquote rained
out or delayed or whatever it was, canceled. And everybody and their mama showed up at Rocket Lanes. Like everybody. I mean, Rocket Lanes it's a good sized place, but like
not for
man, we had
5 different age groups and 20 different teams in each age group.
I mean, it was packed out. We didn't even go into the building. We stayed outside and did all our pin trading.
And it was nice outside. The only bad part I say about it was parking. Parking was hectic, but being out in the area was okay. There was enough room for everybody to walk around.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know now. If you are pin trading and at that Rocket Lanes place and everybody's showing up at the same time, you might as well park way in the back. Don't even get nothing close.
Wrap around the shopping center.
Yeah, go park in the way back and just walk. Trust, because these parents, they hitting cars, scraping cars, getting out of spots, people blocking people in. You don't even know
yelling, fighting over
yeah,
something.
you don't even know whose car that is. You just trying to find out who got the burgundy
Subaru
GNC
in the front.
blocking the whole entrance. So you know, park in the back, save yourself some time,
Right,
and whatnot. But yeah, pin training was a success. Definitely next year probably have more pins because I mean
the kids went through them quick. They did go
everybody
through
with
'em.
everybody showing up at the same place and went through real quick. So
True.
next season we'll definitely be thinking about that. But let's see, got through day one, and then day two is not game day for us, but skills day for us.
Right. So competition, throwing competition, home run derby, around the horn, and around the bases running.
Yep.
So,
and coming into that, you know, it was actually a really good thing that this happened. I was coming in thinking it was like Cooperstown, where one kid participates in each event.
Yep.
And then the whole team for the around the horn thing. But Grand Slam did a really good thing and allowed like 3 kids per competition.
I like that too.
I thought that was great because picking one and hurting these kids' feelings. They're like,
yeah,
oh, man,
you can tell when you say who it is.
But
the
then
other kids, oh man,
ran over there and said, hey, how many people can we put in? And they're like, 3. I was like, oh my god, let's go.
Now you got the whole team.
Now we got the whole squad going, and everybody's pretty much participating in some way, shape, or form. But what you think about? Let's see, we got there, warmed up, and then
everything was smooth. Warm up process. Home run derby was first, and I thought that was cool. It was a little weird how they went up from home plate, but I guess they want to guarantee some home runs. So it's kind of like, let's shorten up the field. Where do you think they had the field at? 150? 160 feet?
It was probably 150.
150 feet, which is very doable for those 10-year-olds to hit home runs.
You got 10-year-old,
and really any 10-year-old who has any type of pop could go in there and participate in the home run derby. You don't have to be a power hitter or anything like that.
If you just get the ball in the air, it'll travel.
So that was nice. I really enjoyed the home run derby. You probably don't know this knowledge, but did the winner have 6 home runs? Did you know about that?
Oh, I don't know if they went 6 for 6.
Well, we should.
I bet you there
had to be a kid who was 6 for 6, right?
Out there that just pow, pow,
every time.
Dad just go out there, just lay that perfect,
just like backyard hitting,
and just take off like that. But nah, I didn't really, you know, skills competition is cool. I think that's more for the kids. I didn't really pay too much attention. I'm just glad the kids have fun.
They had so much fun doing it.
So we had our 3 guys, or 3 of our top hitters do the home run derby. Then we went on to the throwing competition.
So right behind second base to home plate.
Yeah.
Hitting I don't even know what you call that. Just hitting a board.
Yeah,
hitting a little board.
Target.
And I thought that was well put together as well. Our kids, they did fairly. They didn't want to crow hop for some reason. They just want to step and throw and stay flat-footed. Even
a lot of guys nervous, bro.
Very.
They were shaking in their boots out there. I'm like, y'all gotta let loose.
You know what I just thought about? I bet you that's most of those kids' first time being singled out into a competition.
Exactly.
You know, like they, even in school, even in lower sports, that's their first time being on the island and having to be singled out.
I'm about to say, because like I said, I was used to Cooperstown because when we went to Cooperstown when we were 10, I did the home run derby, and that was 100% singled out.
And
that was
in front of fans.
A lot of fans in the outfield, so I know that pressure. And you know, it's just they got to get used to that. You know, like some of us, like real top, like we're real competitive. Like we want that spotlight.
Right.
For a lot of young kids, they're not like that yet, so they got to understand how to balance those emotions and understand what those emotions are also telling you. Like those butterflies in your stomach, that means you care.
You're excited. Yeah, you're ready to go for it.
Like you're like, okay, I'm kind of nervous, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I get to represent. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So we did all right. I wish they would. I wish we could go back and do it again because we had good throwers up there, but they were just so
nervous and timid
that they couldn't show what they really could do.
Right. And after that, we ended up doing around the bases.
Not around the horn.
We ran around the bases.
Yeah, speed runner challenge.
So our fastest guy got first place for a little bit, and eventually
he was holding it down. Little number 10 was holding it down.
He did really good. He was cruising. and then we did Around the Horn, and that was a hot mess. But it's okay. We didn't practice it much. We had one day of practicing it.
And that's another thing, guys. Like, you teams that are like going to be going to these World Series, get ready to play. I feel like get ready to play baseball. Don't worry. Skill challenge is fun.
Throw them out there and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll practice it a couple times, but like we're trying to win the championship World Series, not a skills challenge. We're doing the skills challenge to have fun.
Right.
Like, if we win, we win. If we don't, whatever. I'm about to beat you
in a real game.
Yeah,
we about to play.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wish the kids could understand. Just that would be less nerve-wracking. Like, oh, okay, they have whatever.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, but by like day 3, I think they start to understand that, which is good. That's a story for another day.
Because so after that, we did Around the Horn. It was only one round that really messed us up. We forgot to touch a couple bases.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first round because they were so ready to go. And
they
caught the ball fine, but they just didn't touch the base.
Yep.
And you got the umpire saying, yeah, I got to go back and
touch the base.
I'm like, that was going good. And I thought we had the right people in the right spots. Everybody was like...
No, everybody did. But you're right. They hop off the base before they catch the ball and get ready to throw, just for quickness.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So I wish it was more like an area type deal.
That's a good idea.
I can't remember in Cooperstown because I don't think I participated in the Around the Horn in Cooperstown when we went. I don't remember if it was just an area or you had to touch second base.
We probably had to
touch I get touching first base and get touching maybe third base a little bit, but second base is such a quick position that if they just go with the neighborhood rule, I say count it.
Right. Right.
Then we go, let's see.
So
that was it for that day,
after skills competition, that was it, and trading pins. That was the next day. Each after that, and have the bonding moment, and they're all out there together.
Got some wiffle ball in, got some spike ball in. Boys love the water.
They love the ocean. They love wiffle ball, and I feel like that was probably some of their first times playing wiffle ball.
It looked like it.
You know what I'm saying?
They
ain't never played wiffle ball.
They ain't never seen that ball move that much.
Right.
I
would say for any coach taking their kids down there, make sure you have a day of hanging out together, even if it's just going to get food.
Because you're always going to have an off day. Like, you're going to have an off day, so you might as well use that off day to
do something with it.
And they need to also think, like, tell the parents that we there for baseball. Like, I know a lot of them want to go on their fishing trips and go golfing and you know, it's a vacation, but like at the same time, you don't understand how hectic it is.
Right.
Like, if you're winning and you're playing good,
you're playing every day. You have one day off. You got one day off.
I mean, so that's our day off. Go back to the crib, hotel. We're chilling. Wake up the next morning, day 2. We play bright and early. I think 8 a.m. Right?
8 a.m. 8 and 10
against one of the 5 tool teams. And I mean, I thought, you know, we really were the better team in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I think there's the first day jitters. Like, it was
being nervous and making those simple mistakes take you out the ball game real quick.
Yeah, because they really didn't. I mean, no disrespect to y'all, but like, they didn't really have anything. I think that, like,
no, nothing too competitive that was like, oh my gosh, we can't beat that. Yeah, we can't hit that, or you know what I'm saying? We got to pitch around that.
I think it was a close game. Like, it was like a 7-5 or something like that. Right. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't nothing like a blowout or anything like that. It was like we were up, and then we just took our foot off the gas and then allowed them to come back.
Because that's the game we start off 5-0, right?
Nah, that was the Cyclones.
Okay.
I ain't never forget that one. That's I ain't gonna forget that one, bro.
That one stung.
Yeah, that one stung, bro. So, anyways, got day 1. We lost the first game, and then, you know, it is what it is. We go second game, day 1.
10 o'clock back to
back, which, by the way, if you're going to be in Florida, play in the morning, play at night. Don't play in the middle of the day.
And that back-to-back is nice.
If you can schedule requests, bright and early in the morning or the last game in the
when the sun's going down,
hopefully. Because, hey, that Florida heat, no joke.
And then you get put on turf.
Oh,
and people who have never touched turf's like 20 degrees, 30 degrees hotter than outside.
Public Park, their umpires had to keep changing shoes because their shoes melted, man. So shout out umpires too. We're gonna get into y'all in a second, but shout out umpires too. I know y'all be hot out there all day.
Some do great, some do poorly, but hey,
Hey, it
it
is what
is
it is.
what it is.
I'm glad y'all
I'm
out there
glad
so
y'all
we
got the
can play
job. I'm
baseball. You
glad
know what
y'all
I'm
took the
saying?
job.
So we end up playing Jasper Bullets game 2. I think was that a blowout? Did we blow them out?
I wouldn't call it a blowout, but we did beat them by a good
We
amount.
beat
Yeah, it was a
yeah
good win. It was a confidence building win. Let's
yeah
say that much. Because it
and
was no run, like nobody got run ruled in the whole tournament. I feel like maybe like one team, but
I think
it was a very
those other teams that we're about to
the
talk about, I think they got run over.
yeah, but for the most part, it was very competitive, and I enjoyed that.
No, Jasper was good. They had some good dogs on their team. They had a little third baseman pitcher catcher kid,
Oh yeah,
kind of long, not long hair, but he had brown
I
hair,
remember
whatever.
him. I
That
remember
kid
him.
was a dog, man.
Hmm.
I don't know where Jasper Bullets is from, but I wish he would come play for us because
It would just be cool if you could pick up the best
yeah,
kid, right? Like,
on
hey,
that
come
team,
on,
come on,
come
play
play
over
over
here.
here.
Because that's another thing about it is like, bro, a lot of these good kids, and no disrespect to like anybody, but some of them are in bad situations with not. I'm not saying bad coaches, but like you're with a coach that doesn't know how to develop
Doesn't
or
focus on developing. Doesn't think about
yeah,
developing.
like these teams are picking up 4 or 5 players, and not as extreme, but probably like 2 to 4 players that ain't been with you the whole year, and then you invite them down, and then all of a sudden you're sitting the kids that you've been playing with the whole year,
Yeah,
just so these 2 3 kids can play,
yeah.
so y'all can win.
That's just something we don't agree with. We would never,
Nah,
that's. And another thought is our whole outlook and goal for this organization is to develop, develop, develop.
exactly.
And the wins are, if you develop properly, the wins are going to come no matter what.
AKA PCB.
That's it. That's
You
it.
know, and just to tell y'all the quick story, like the whole year, like we were struggling. Like
Hmm.
we would go. It's not like we would just get beat. We would be winning most games, and then the last inning, 30 minutes of the ball game,
Fall apart. Yep.
just fall apart. And that was the biggest hump because this team, if they really just like held it together, they probably would have been above 500 team
Oh,
because
easy.
they were winning so many games. I mean, even the beginning of the year, the one I'll never forget is against the East Cobb Astros.
Mm.
We're winning that
We
game,
were playing
like
a
going
heck
all the
of a
way into the
game.
last inning. It's like 5 to, or it's like 3-2 or 3-1. We're winning. And then all of a sudden, 2 little errors and error out for the error in the infield, and all of a sudden we give them that momentum back and allow them to go on and eventually win the
Hmm.
championship when we had them all the way through. I mean, their coach talking to us, telling us, wow, this is a great
This is a
team,
tough
well coached.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is going to be a dogfight
Right.
type stuff. And then we gave it to them, but then we just kind of rolled over there at the end. And I mean, that happened. Quite a few, like more often
Yeah, it would
than
only be
not.
1 or 2 innings or even a half inning
It's
that
really a
lasted
half inning.
35,
Yeah.
45 minutes and the game's over.
I think that's one of the biggest things about this young kind of youth baseball thing. Why it's so like inviting, just like anybody to come and play
Hmm.
travel ball, is that you get those games to where a team is literally out there playing defense for almost the whole game. Like they're out
Yep,
there just
45
struggling to
minutes.
get 3 outs, 6 outs, 9 outs, like, and those type of things, man. That's where we got to also like there. I mean that's a conversation for another day, but there should be a bigger line between rec ball
Mm.
or like development baseball and then going into travel ball.
Mm.
It'd be
Mm.
nice if there was like a middle
A middle
ground where
ground.
it's just called developmental league or something like that, where these rec ball kids are trying to transition into travel, and they just have to go through
A
a
season of.
season of just of proper development, and that's on the program. Like the programs that y'all join, like they should have a developmental area. Say this is my developmental team. We might not play in as many tournaments, but we're gonna have we're gonna have good
Hmm.
practices. We're gonna have a lot of scrimmages, and just a lot of ways that they can develop before. Because my thing is like once you put them in a tournament and they see results,
Hmm.
like actual numbers. Oh crap! I just lost by 20 runs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
definitely. No,
that's when
definitely.
it's like maybe baseball ain't for me.
Right.
You know, and we don't want that at all. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be nice, like, because the scrimmage is like whatever. I don't keep up with stats or score or anything during scrimmage.
No,
I
you
could
can't.
care
You
less.
can't.
I'm
It
watching
don't
how
matter
like little
how the
Johnny plays.
right,
You know
how
what
the
I'm
kids
saying?
react, how they react to mistakes, how they
Mm-hmm.
go up there with approach at the play and things like that. But man, it's a mind blowing turn on how the kids came back from the whole season into PCB. So we win one and lose one day one, I guess you would call it, or day two, or day two of the tournament, day one for us.
Yeah.
And
So that puts us at like I think that put us at 5 seed.
yeah, we were 5 or 6, I believe.
I think it was 5 because we had to play the 4 seed.
Okay, yeah. And then, double elimination when you're down there. So if you lose one, you get a chance to keep going. You get one put in the quote unquote losers bracket, I guess you would call it. And we end up losing our first
That was
game.
Cyclones. That was a Cyclones game.
We go up 5-0. The kids look
First
good.
inning.
The kids look good, right?
Five first inning, had them change pitchers and back up against the wall. I could see it on their faces. Like I could hear them talk, like just talking to each other. I'm like, this is the World Series, baby. Like, come
they
on.
wanted it.
Yeah.
But rewind real quick. We go to a different park. They got 2 parks in PCB. They got Publix Park and Frank Brown Park. Love Publix Park. Frank Brown Park, cool too. But I guess what really did it was umpires that day.
Man,
we had umpire. Wasn't it that day?
Was it that day that we had the dude? Man, the first day was cool. We had my dog.
We had great umpires. We had great umpires.
But the first day that we had umpires was great. Like that was my dog. I know them for a long time. Like they're good umpires.
They knew the game.
But after that, bro,
I just want to say for anybody who wants to be an umpire, if you never played the game of baseball, please don't be an umpire. Even you got to play at least till you're like 11, 12 years old. I give you credit. Go for it. But if you haven't played,
high school, bro.
Man,
I need high school, bro. Like,
those first guys, they probably never played high school.
No,
bro.
it's just man. So we go, and I'm pretty sure this is that. It might not be that game, but we're gonna talk about that umpire. So we go up 5-0. I'm pretty sure this is that game.
I think it's the game.
5-0 against the Cyclones. Right, great team. Shout out Cyclones.
Yes, this is the game because I'm talking to the coach and he's talking about we'll see you again. We'll see you again. It's okay. Don't. But
I don't think that was the game with the umpire because the game with the umpire, I remember he had to go over to the other team too
and give them the warning.
So that might not have been the same one.
Okay. I got ahead of myself.
Yeah. So Cyclones up 5-0 first inning. Get their starting pitcher out of there. Have them in the bullpen already. I can see drop shoulders.
Oh yeah, they look sad.
Look sad. What happened after that?
So we get out from a knucklehead third base. The kid steals third base, and you don't want to make the first or third out at third base, and of course you make the third out at third base.
Yeah.
But he gets out. We go out. We get the first out. Boom! I remember we get the first out, but our pitcher walks a kid or two, and they end up hitting that home run. And we still have the lead after the home run. I think it's like 2-5, 3-5, something like that.
By 3.
And all our kids, no, they were shook. They were shook. And from there, the game was over. I don't think we scored one more run the rest of the game.
But like, put this in perspective. Like, you go out, your team goes up 5-0, and then you give up a home run. Okay, it's only a 2-run home run.
That's it.
Talk like how should kids feel after that? Like, should they be down on themselves? Should they be?
You have to be competitive and in the mindset of, okay, I'm going to strike out these next 2 guys to show them you're not going to hit another home run off me. I'm going to throw you 3 hard fastballs right down the middle and go for it. Go for it.
Catch up.
I'm not even going to throw you a ball. You're going to see 3 straight strikes. And if you get it, you get it. But I'm thinking in my head, you're not touching nothing. Nothing.
And it's just, that's one of the things, like, parents, like, we got to instill into the kids is just being able to handle adversity not calling them after everything, show them a little bit of, challenging obstacles. Like they got to be able to overcome it, especially if you're going to be in sports. If you're going to be in sports, if you don't have a screw the adversity, I'm going to get this kid attitude, I'm sorry, but like it might not last that long. It might for some people, but that are just so talented, but they're just super nice at the same time.
Right.
Like the nicest kid in the world, but he's just so worldly talented.
Right.
Like it'll work for that kid.
That competitive Kobe Bryant mentality ain't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we don't even have to get to that far.
No,
It,
no.
right? Like that's just like the
Not
spectrums, but
right.
you got to be
somewhere in the middle.
So give up that home run, and it was a bomb.
I was just saying he hit it good.
It was a good one. Like you got to tip your cap and say, "All right, well, next kid, here it comes. You not going to touch it." And I mean that's the best hitter on the team. Like you got to just say, "Okay, screw
that
it."
happens.
That happens, especially with a 5-2 lead, bro.
And the good thing about sports is that when those type of things happen, it almost prepares you for real life when you get knocked down. So you can deal with the sports stuff, then you get to real life and you're like, hey, I've been here before. I've experienced something along these lines. Exactly. I know how to bounce back. And that's the great thing about sports and getting these kids into sports at a young age. It just help them for life like that much more.
And that's the whole thing, man. Like, yeah, we teach them baseball, but at the end of the day, there's only such a small percentage that actually goes and gonna play high school ball, college ball, professional ball.
Right. It all dwindles down as you get further and further.
As you get further and further, and you just
build character with them.
You gotta build character. You gotta build a young adult. Like you gotta teach them the ways.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we still up 5-2. They score another one, I think. It becomes like 5-3 or something. Shoulders are down. Everybody's down on themselves. Still got the lead, by the way.
And we go into hit with no energy.
Yeah.
Like they lost the game already.
Yeah, and then from then on, we only score maybe one more run.
I think so.
The entire game.
And they come out swinging. I think all the momentum was on their side.
I think they ended up winning like 8-6 against us.
Yep.
They just never gave up, man. Never gave up. They just said, all right, y'all score 5. They saw that home run. They said, we got them.
Got a little momentum.
It's like blood in the water. They saw us bleeding, and they said, go get it.
Let's get it.
We're going to go get it. And I mean, it's a World Series, too, at the end of the day.
You can't expect no kid to lay it.
Nobody's going to lay down, bro. I don't care if they 10 years old. It's a World Series.
That's it.
Trust me, all their parents are back there saying, this is a World Series. Y'all better pick it. Like, everybody, ain't nobody taking this lightly. So you got to understand that this ain't no Covington ballpark game. Like, this ain't no...
These parents travel 6 hours, 7 hours to get to a destination. Here, so paid a lot of money.
And so we ended up losing that. All right, so
there's only one game that day.
Yeah, we only played one game. If we had one, we would have played twice, but we lost, so we only had to play one in the morning. So we lose, and based off of all the rest of like the year before that, I mean, it almost feels as if crap.
It's a wrap.
It might be a wrap. It's not
we're falling down the same path that we've been in,
and where we had to trust the kids to get us out of it. Like the coaches, of course, we have all the confidence, and we trying to keep them confident. But at the end of the day, if the kids don't have that drive themselves to push themselves, and it don't matter what daddy, mommy, grandpa, grandma say in the background, no coach, it's him. It's him in his mind up there. He has to be able to do that. So, and to be honest, that whole year we struggled with that aspect. So at that point, we backs up against the walls. We like, okay,
are we gonna go down our same path, or are we gonna have a turnaround because it's the World Series?
So we end up that night. I think we invited them to. Was that when we went to go? No, we didn't go eat that day.
No, we didn't go eat that day. We let them.
Was that bowling?
Yes, you did go bowling. I didn't go bowling with you, but you went bowling that night with some of the kids.
Maybe we went bowling that night with some of the kids.
Yes.
And that was great. Had a fun time. You should have seen it, bro. So many kids just gutter ball. I mean, the whole stat line was lines and then a fat zero at the end. I asked them they want to use bumpers.
They gotta put up the walls
bro.
for them.
And then Nevaeh go out there. She bowled a strike. She got something. She rolling it down.
Right.
Thing, but
it's staying straight.
Yeah, she getting some fans. You got, who got us them lefties that be bowling.
Who was bowling?
Coop.
Oh,
Coop
true.
Lefty. Coach Dustin came out there and he was balling. Jesus.
Hey.
He had like 6 strikes in a row.
I know he played billiards, so when somebody played billiards, bowling right after billiards.
That man's so competitive and everything. I mean, we were little kids. I'm trying to go easy on him. I'm going, left-handed, throwing some weird
Coach
stuff.
was up there saying, "Nah, we going straight every time."
Dustin out there taking heads. He was taking heads off, bro. I'm like, dang, Dustin, they only 10 years old.
I don't care.
They got to learn. I'm gonna win. Yeah, that's what he said. But they gonna learn. They gonna learn today. So, but
that's another team and bonding event that
just helped
brings them together.
Had a great time that night. Wake up tomorrow. I think we probably play at 10 or 12.
I think it was 10 o'clock.
And we have to play that green team.
The green and blue?
No, that green team that was like the Athletics.
Okay,
yeah. We had to play that team. So actually, it was like a tough game.
No, it was an amazing game.
They weren't doing good the entire tournament. At least shout out, like I don't know, but I don't think they were doing that hot game or that tournament. And then all of a sudden, that game was like 1-0.
They came out competitive.
I think so.
Yeah, because we ended up winning 2-1. Because we won. I won't get it. We won 2 games, 2-1, and those were both elimination games.
So that would have been Thursday, right? Because Tuesday we had a doubleheader. Wednesday we played Cyclones. Thursday we play the green team, the Athletics. And that was a team that I think that we probably should have put away early and just kind of got out of there.
The bats weren't too hot that day.
Nah.
But what held together was our defense.
The defense, and shout out to our defense. Jeez. They held it down because I'll be honest with you, like our bats weren't really popping like that.
The whole tournament.
Nah.
The whole tournament.
We had, and I give the props to the kids. They finally bought into what we've been trying to do this whole year was if we're not hitting that well, we need to start laying down some bunts or just focusing on doing our jobs, right? That we go from like laying 1 or 2 bunts down the entire year to all of a sudden, bow, squeeze play here, squeeze play there, drag bunt over here, sack bunt here, and it was like masterful. And
lots and lots of bunts, lots of small.
I mean, there was a lot. I mean, we almost had all of our runs from Wednesday on,
from small ball.
Was all small ball.
And we were the only team up there our age doing that.
Nobody knew how to defend it. Nobody knew who should be coming in, crashing to get the ball.
There was that one game where I don't know what team it was, but they had the shortstop crash in.
Oh yeah,
I have never seen that in my baseball life.
That happened. I can't remember what team it was either, but that happened because we had a guy on second. They showed bunt, third baseman crashed, and I immediately told kid, come on, get here. So we stole that bag.
And coach held them that time and said, no, we need shortstop to crash.
So the next time we had a guy on second, they went short crashes Thursdays.
Right.
Which is fine because we're not allowed to slash. Or we're not allowed to pull back and swing.
Yeah.
So
the only flaw that brings, though, is if your runner who bunts, he has second base wide open. Center field could come in.
Well, because
second was coming to first. And first was crashing, too. And that they had first crashing and second came to cover. You could have a center fielder if he was smart enough.
That ain't no play. You're going to have to yell at him.
Yeah. You're not setting
Billy,
play.
Billy, get
the second.
Like, you gotta do all that. So it was just masterful. So anyway, we end up winning Thursday. You're not eating no crayons. She eat crayons?
No, I don't think so, but I didn't want to take the chance.
You're going to take that chance.
We got the special guest of the dog.
We got the dog in the building. We got Rosie. Rosie out here. We're going to see what you Smell. Oh, she just smelling where the kids
Where
were.
Junior was.
Yeah. So we end up. So that was Thursday. We end up playing the green team. Should have beat them bad, but it is what it is.
We pulled off a W.
Dub's a dub at this point. So now we're 2-2. We just won a playoff game or a bracket game or however you want to call it. Talk to like what's the emotion behind that? Like,
well, 2-1, right?
Nah, because we lost one game against 5 Tool, and then we lost one.
That's
game
right. We lost pool play. Yep.
So talk to them about the emotions of the kids. The kids up, they down, they hype, huh?
They were hype after that one. Yes, they were super hype because that put us on to the next day.
Yeah, I mean we could have went home.
Yeah, that could have been it, and we had the early exit.
But we sent them home, which is always a good feeling.
Yes,
and guys, that's what we here to do, baby. We here to send kids home. Pack them up, send them home crying.
That's the best feeling.
Like we're gonna go keep playing.
Yeah, got to.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but that puts us on to the next day.
And now we're at Thursday or Friday. Friday.
It has to be Friday
because we play 2 on Friday.
Yeah, so we're So we're 4 games deep, and we still going.
Yeah, we going. We good.
We 4 games deep into it so far. We're 2-2, and we're going in, and we don't have great outings. We don't have great outings by our main pitchers, but we had a clutch outing by one of our pitchers that we started throwing more at the end of the season. So went like a complete game. So we're still looking good in terms of pitchers.
Come on.
Hold on. We're gonna get Rosie. Rosie going crazy. Hold on.
All right. So yeah, we throw one of the pitchers who've been practicing real hard. He's been doing great, and he comes in and shuts it down.
Yeah, he shut it. He gave that green team the business.
Oh, easy.
The entire game. So we go and play Friday. Game 1 is against Clutch White.
Yep.
Clutch White. So Clutch is a good organization. Shout out Clutch. They're a good organization. We played them quite a few times. Not the white team, but we played the Navy team about 3 times this season. Going into it, I remember talking to one of the kids on the green team, and he was the third baseman. He was just bragging about Clutch White. Oh, they're the best team. They're gonna win everything. They're a AAA team coming down to play in this, or something crazy. You know how kids get.
Something along those lines, right?
So I was like, oh man, that's great. Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, whoever wins this game, I go play them.
Right.
So we end up winning. We going to play them. So in my mind, I'm thinking about what the kids said. I'm like, okay, so this team is actually going to be legit. They're going to be good. You know, what do we need to do? And they shout out they were good.
They're a legit team, yeah.
But I think he definitely gassed them up. Like they were not no AAA. They were not no AAA team or nothing like that, bro. They were just a regular team.
A normal baseball.
Yeah, just a normal baseball team that makes mistakes like y'all do. Yeah. And like, so that game is another 2-1 ball game, but.
Oh, this is the crazy ending. No, this is not the crazy ending.
That's Jasper.
That's next game. Oh, goodness.
This one, I'm trying to remember. This is Sir Vape a lot over there coaching.
Yes.
So if y'all don't, I ain't gonna get in nobody's business, bro. But just know, we got people vaping on the field
at 10
years old. Like every single AB, like every single pitch, buddy hitting the vape, talking about I'm not hitting no vape. Yes, you are, bro. Like I can see if
smoke pouring out your nose.
If my game changer camera or whatever was more pointed towards where this guy was, you would be seeing
smoking
clouds.
all game.
You'd be like, dang, is it a cloudy day? No, it's just vaping, right? You vaping. So that kind of threw it off. But that game is when I think. No, actually.
Okay, nope. I remember this
the umpire one.
We did skip the umpire.
But we'll come back to that one. But what are you about to say?
This is the game where it's a competitive game all game, and it's 2-1. And let's fast forward all the way to the last inning. We played small ball to get 2 runs, and we played great defense to hold them to 1 run. There's 2 outs, man on third. They're up to bat, right? And we have one of the pitchers in that he should do the right thing in this situation, but he is a little emotional. So if he didn't, we would say, okay, it makes sense why he didn't. But he decides to steal home for the tying run.
Now, mind you, he got 2 strikes. Oh, no, he had 1 strike. It was like a 2-1 count.
Yeah, it was like a 2-1 count. 2 outs.
2 outs, and you have your game tying run at third base.
A pass ball would have got him in.
Nah, exactly. And at 10 years old, you got it. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna bank on one of these kids throwing the ball in the dirt.
Yes, or a ground ball becoming an error.
But the thing that they were doing before that at third base is that I kind of saw him trying to do it because he kept telling the kid to get way out. Now, remind you, we just picked the kid off because you were doing that stupid stuff earlier. We just picked you off
and got you out the inning.
And I was about to pick off again, but whoever we had at third base wasn't paying attention.
Right.
So we couldn't get the out. Or like he caught it. He was like, why did you throw it to me? Oh, crap.
Right.
And did one of those. But we would have ended the game like that. So I go out there and talk to the boys and say, hey, we got to win this game. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think that they're about to squeeze or try to steal home. So I don't prepare them anything for that. But sure enough, like the first pitch, huge lead.
Our pitcher comes set
and does
he
whatever.
Takes off.
Well, it wasn't even the first pitch. Remember
because it was like 2-1 count.
It was a 2-1 count. Yeah. So the first pitch, he's trying to get the kid to go, but the kid doesn't go, and he's not being like sneaky about this at all, bro. Like he's like, yeah, go. And the kid's like,
what do you mean? Yeah.
So I hear that. I'm like, all right. So I'll look at the second pitch. Second pitch, he's right next to the bat. Like he's not going anywhere. No, letting the kid go. Third pitch, same thing, close. Because we told them, hey, look at this kid out there. Make sure he doesn't do anything crazy. So coach,
they're playing it safe.
Playing safe. And then all of a sudden, fourth pitch, this kid takes off sprinting.
At a horrible time at that. I mean, it wasn't like a great timing or nothing. Our pitcher comes set, and he's looking dead at him. Our pitcher's looking dead at him, and the kid just turns and starts running. Our pitcher just does exactly the right thing, steps off, makes a hard throw home. Our catcher was there protecting the plate in the right spot. Boom, easy tag. Easy tag.
Over. GG's.
You know what we call that as being desperate.
Yeah.
That was being
because
desperate.
I mean 2-1 count, man. You got I don't know if this kid's good or not, but he was a good sized kid at the plate.
Right. He seems like he could put the ball in play.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess, 2020 hindsight, if it worked, we're talking about something completely different.
Right.
If it works.
If it works, you're a genius.
You tied the ball game and y'all might win the game.
You might.
Going to extra innings.
Yeah, going in extras most likely.
But hey, we'll never know.
Right.
So we win that game, go crazy. We own the game too.
Yep, we go crazy.
And here's Jasper Bullets making their way back in. And wait, did we talk about beating the Cyclones? Because we had to beat the Cyclones. Oh, that was game 1 of the last day. Okay. So we had to play Jasper Bullets right after that game. So hot. It's noon. Sun is beating down on us. Like
turf 130 degrees.
Yeah, we just played a hard game against Clutch White. And here comes our good friend Cyclones coming back in. Talking about this is a championship game. We're the best 2 teams. Blah, 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 blah. Man, I wanted blood that game. I wanted blood.
Yeah, we got it though.
So bad.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it. That was a great game though too. It was very competitive until the last inning, and then we broke it open.
Oh, it was like 8. It was like we was actually down that game.
Yeah, we were down for a minute.
7-4, 7-3 type stuff.
Yep.
End up coming back, making it 8-7,
and then blew it open from 12-7, 13, something big.
We ended up blowing it open to a 15-7 ball game, but it started because somebody laid down a good bunt. And it just got everything rolling, and they started making errors, mistakes, and
next thing you know, you're up 3.
We was up. Like, come on. And then all of a sudden we do some clutch hitting, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, it's a 15-7 ball game in the last inning. GG's, we'll see you later.
That's it. And this is the game to send us to the championship.
No,
this isn't
this
yet.
is not yet. This is the quarterfinal. That's what I'm saying. We
Oh
had to
my goodness!
play
True,
like
true, true,
8
true, true. Because this is
games.
still Friday, right?
Yes.
This is still Friday, and
So
then we
we
got to go
played
into
2 on
Saturday.
Friday. That's the quarterfinals. Then we end up going to
possible 3 on Saturday.
Possible 3. So if we want to win the championship, it's 3 games we have to play on Saturday.
Right.
So Saturday, I mean, we go crazy. That night we go take the boys out to a restaurant, have another team bonding experience, have a lot of fun. Then we come in, wake up tomorrow morning or Saturday morning. Oh my God, we did not think we were gonna make it this far. I'll be honest with you, I didn't. We only booked our hotel to Friday, so we were like, "Hey man,
we were looking for a spot for championship day. We found one."
After that game, on the phone with everybody trying to find a place to stay for the last day. Ended up finding an Airbnb. Shout out to them, and then wake up the next day and it's championship Saturday. Like it's the last day.
That's it.
And it's us and 2 other teams. There's only 3 teams left. And from a team, talk to them from like a team that was not disrespect, but bottom tier almost the entire season. All of a sudden, you're top 3 in the World Series. You made it to the last day.
It's a heck of a feeling. I know the kids were so excited. They were just thrilled, and I know from a coaching perspective, like I told the kids, man, that gave me chills. I was like, dang, you're finally listening and applying it. Thank goodness. So it was nice to see the kids apply everything we've been trying to teach them and actually bunt the ball and hustle down and do those things and see that it makes a huge difference to do the little things like that.
Yeah, only took 8 tournaments.
Yeah,
whatever.
It only took from January to June. I mean,
but we developed and we did it when it mattered the most.
Right.
So, shout out to them. So we got Cyclones first game.
Okay, so we play them Saturday.
No. You're right.
We played them Saturday, right?
Yeah. Because Jasper Bullets
was the Friday night game.
Oh,
Friday
so yeah, we skipped the game. So that Cyclones game we just talked about, that was actually Saturday's first game.
Yes.
That 15-7
yes,
win.
That was
actually
Saturday's
first
to
game.
get us to the championship.
Yes. So now we had to play again Friday against Jasper Bullets again. And they're coming off of beating the Mississippi Nats. So they're high, they're going good, they're confident. They talking their mess. I'm going over there.
That was the team that was seeing us. Said we're coming for y'all.
I remember just talking.
They were talking mess to the coaches.
Yeah,
me and Andrew were walking. We were like, "What the? Did he just talk to us about that?"
You don't want us to suit up. Nah, come on. At 10 years old, we was in a different league now. So we played Jasper. Great game. Craziest ending known. I think this is probably top 5 worst endings to a ball game ever. And we were on the winning side of that. So we go in, it's 1-0 in the very last inning. Yeah. They bring in a kid, a little lefty. I don't know his name, so I'm not gonna shout out to you. But he gets on the mound.
And mind you, let me throw something in there. Coach brought him in a 3-1 count.
In a 3-1 count.
That's a crazy thing to do as a coach. Don't do that as
a coach. Don't bring the kid in a 3-1 count. So he ends up walking him. It's first and third. We early break or whatever. Get the guy second and third. No outs. Second, third. Bottom of the last inning is our last chance to hit. I think we maybe have made an out. We may got one or 2 outs.
We did make an out.
We're there. Second and third, kid at the plate. I'm telling him, hey, we're squeezing. So it had to be less than, it's probably no out. I tell him, we're squeezing. Like 1,000%. We're squeezing right here. And just like we've been doing all tournament long, we're going to keep going. Yep. We're going to work. So, hey, buddy, at third, you're going to be stealing. Kid at the plate.
Lay it down.
I need you to lay it down.
Lay it down.
Squares around the bunt. This kid comes set and just goes. Blue says, "Balk!" I was like, let's go. One ball. Obviously, he didn't come set.
Right.
Like
it was obvious one. It was obvious.
So coaches go out there. They're arguing and blah blah blah. Umpire said, "I can't do nothing. The boy didn't come set.
Right.
Like that's on him.
Right.
now we're telling you, like, come set from now on. So we got another guy at third. And sure enough, the next pitch,
the same exact occurrence.
thing. He boom. Blue says, ball. Actually, it might have been a 2-0 ball game because
we went up 3-2
because the coach got thrown out this play, so balked another kid in.
Yep.
All of a sudden, coach, BS, blah, started yelling, cussing, going crazy, gets tossed out, and we're just over there with our heads like, oh my God. Now that the coach, I wasn't really worried about
the occurrence.
The situation. I'm like, they really just balked 2 runs in and we tied the ball game. And mind you, like, we at the like bottom of our lineup type stuff.
Yeah, like if they execute, we're not probably gonna get
not in our strong part of the lineup. All you have to do is come set, pause, and
throw a strike.
That's all you had to do. But the situation's big, World Series, like
a lot of pressure.
The quarterfinals, like a lot of pressure on that kid. You already brought him in a 3-1 count.
Yep, that was just crazy.
Yeah, so now this kid immediately throws one pitch, walks a kid, and I was like, oh, first and third, we early break. I mean, we put pressure on them early. So, but yeah, ended up balking again.
Because he balked. Didn't he balk every run in?
I don't know if he balked the third. I can't quite remember if he balked the third one. We'll have to show it later. But balk 2 guys in. Coach goes crazy, gets tossed. We have like a 10-minute delay because
and there's only 15-20 minutes left in the game.
Well,
there wasn't much.
The game was the game only had like 12 minutes left.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
And we spent 10 minutes of that in a delay because they couldn't get the coach out of here.
He didn't want to leave.
He didn't want to leave. So finally got the coach out of there. I mean, we all laying down, chilling. We taking a quick nap before we win, and we're like, we confident we about to win. Coach over there getting tossed, whatever. So get a guy at third, and I think it's a pass ball. It might be a hit, but it's something.
Yeah, it was. It was.
We end up. There's only a minute left. They say this is ball game. Whatever happens, like if we have to go into extras, we have to go into extras. If they score, we win. We end up scoring. I can't remember how. End up scoring, winning that ball game, bro. Oh my God! So now we go on to
Saturday. Beat the Cyclones 15-6, 15-7.
Get them out of here.
Now we made it to the championship game.
Yeah.
Final game. We have to beat this team twice. We have to. That's the only way to win the championship. This is a team we've seen in other tournaments before.
Yep,
they've blown us out in the other tournament. Probably run ruled. I can't even remember. But I just know it was a bad one. And, man, the kids came out there playing. They came out there giving them everything. And looking back at it, I don't know if you rewatched it, but just me looking back at it, we only had a half inning where it went old. Yeah. Old too smooth.
Right.
And after that half inning, we were locked back in because nothing changed. You know what I'm saying?
We actually went down like 8-1.
Oh yeah, we were down bad. It was bad.
It was bad. In the championship game. I was like, oh man, not right now. Like don't go backwards now.
Right.
But like you said, after that half inning, like we told them, like, stop. Who cares, man? We about to play.
It's still a ball game.
We ended up coming back, probably scoring some good runs, like good hits.
Lots of good hits. That was the only game our bats were somewhat alive.
Like we was smoking that. Like we were hitting their pitching. Going to the last inning, it's like 8-6 or something like that.
That's exactly what it was.
I think it's like 8-6. They bring in this stud kid that just came in and
throwing little rockets.
Just throwing rockets. And
from 49 feet away.
Yeah, 46, whatever the distance is, bro. So they ended up beating us that game.
10-6, I think the final score was.
I think 10-6 or 9-6 was the final score. But
heck of a game.
Heck of a tournament by them. I don't even care if y'all lost in the championship.
No, y'all did your thing.
We gon'
And you didn't roll over in the championship. You kept
That's
going.
What I'm saying. You kept balling, man.
They balled to the last inning.
Because at 8-1, 100%.
Yep.
That's what we would have saw in the old tooth. Just
yep.
No. New one said, "Come on, coach, we got this. We got
ball.
this." Like, look at what we've been doing so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the type of grit and tenacity and just being able to overcome something that we try to build in our program and try to find kids that have that. We don't really care about your talent, dude. We just care about you want to go play hard or not,
and develop and go hard. That's
yeah.
it. And before we get off this episode, I just want to say, like, we practice 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, we got lessons if they want to do lessons. So it's a consistency for these kids, and to see them finally soak it up and do it in the highest stage of their season.
Yeah.
Can't complain at all.
I was about to say usually
what, like,
we don't keep no second place trophies in our house, but that one had to come
that one
home
has to stay
because that was probably top 3 most overcome things that I've seen as coaching. Because that was incredible.
And for me, you know, we did high school coaching, but I don't even count that really. But as like being a coach first year and this being the experience, it's like, wow, that gives me so much hope and eager to just keep going.
Just keep on rolling, like, wow. Keep everything pushing. So we end up going, we all the way down in the
last field on
the
last field in the park.
So we got to walk 1.5 miles to get back to the front where they got to have trophy. I mean, they did a good thing. They probably just don't want to drive trophies everywhere.
That's how I thought about it too.
I think it should always be
on the field.
2 teams on that field lined up.
Quick ceremony.
Coach, through. Come up here, introduce your kids, let them come up, grab the trophy, take a picture, go back in line.
Right.
I wish they would have done that, but they still did a good thing. We all went to go meet up at the front, and that's where they
did give us an experience, a smaller experience, but it was exclusive.
Which is probably what they have to do because they don't, like I said, all those little bitty trophies that they have to take to every single field.
A mile down the
park. Probably something like that. I mean, there's probably 10 plus fields. There's probably 10.
And I thought about that too. There's probably not enough workers to be on every field because the championship games ended around the same time.
Probably the same times everywhere. So, but no, it was a great experience, man. And the boys did good. And we're happy with how the season's not over. We still got a wood bat tournament.
One more tournament
play, but that's more so of a kind of like just a happy, have a whole lot of fun. It's
right. Here's a wood bat.
Do this one. Like, just go have fun and do your thing.
Right.
But yeah, man, that was PCB, man. In a nutshell, the only thing that we didn't ever get a chance to talk about were the umpires, but y'all had to see some of these.
We'll have a whole episode about umpires.
Yeah, we'll get the videos up and everything talking about these umpires. We got to do better as an umpire. I know it gets tough, you know, listening to coach, especially like me. Like if you come umpire me, like you better know the game, otherwise I'm gonna be in your.
Telling you the game. I'm gonna tell you what you're missing.
Because we've had some crazy things happen with umpires that you're just making up rules now.
And one thought I have is that coach that crashed out over the balk. Yeah. It's kind of understandable because every umpire in Grand Slam that week was on different balk terms. Like they weren't on the same terms at all. So
no, we had old buddy who
in the championship game
who said, "I'm not gonna call balks.
I'm not calling.
Why?
Balks. This is a championship. You called your guys called balks all tournament.
Come on,
and how we not calling
now all
of
a sudden we're not gonna call balks. Why are we not calling balks?
And I will say. Of course, I'm gonna say it because it's my team, but that saved them at least 3 to 4 runs
because they were balking.
Because they balked a lot.
And we look at the umpire.
I don't know.
He just stares at me.
No, he don't know.
Come on, bro. You got like this championship game, bro. Like lock in for me, please. Do I need to get you a cold water?
Right.
Like what you need? Need a snack? Like, but anyways, man, shout out to Smooth. We did our thing over there in PCB. Extremely happy for them. Growing program every single day. Every season we have gone up in teams. This next season we looking to have multiple teams coming in. Come join us. Come join the movement. We're developmental first. The wins come from good development and building good community and good family atmosphere. Other than that, let's turn to podcasts and we out.